In the heart of Nevada's vast desert lies a forgotten town known as Hollow Creek. It's not marked on any modern map, and most people who live nearby refuse to speak of it. Those who have ventured close to Hollow Creek tell stories of a ghostly presence that lingers in its crumbling streets and abandoned buildings. Legend has it that Hollow Creek was once a thriving mining town during the late 1800s. Rich veins of silver drew settlers by the hundreds, transforming the area into a bustling community almost overnight. But as quickly as it rose to prominence, it fell into despair. By 1902, the town was abandoned. Some say the mines dried up. Others believe the town was cursed. A group of urban explorers decided to uncover the truth. Ryan, a seasoned adventurer, led the team. Alongside him were his friends Olivia, a historian, Ethan, a videographer, and Chloe, a skeptic who had little patience for ghost stories. On a cool October morning, the group set out, following an old dirt road that locals had warned them to avoid. The journey was uneventful until they reached the outskirts of Hollow Creek. The air grew unnaturally still, and the desert's familiar sounds of rustling wind and distant wildlife seemed to vanish. A faded wooden sign reading Hollow Creek stood crookedly by the road, its paint peeling and weathered. The town itself was eerily intact. Wooden storefronts, a saloon, and a church with a leaning steeple lined the main street. A thick layer of dust covered everything, and the silence was oppressive. "It's like everyone just left," Olivia whispered as they explored. Ethan set up his camera to document the buildings. Inside the saloon, cobwebs draped over overturned tables and shattered bottles. A piano stood in one corner, its keys yellowed with age. Chloe scoffed as Ryan examined an old ledger. "See? Just an abandoned town. No ghosts here," she said. But as the sun began to set, strange things started happening. The wind picked up, carrying with it faint, mournful whispers. Olivia swore she saw movement in the windows of the church, though the building was empty when they investigated. Ethan's camera began malfunctioning, its screen flickering with static. That night, they camped just outside the town, unwilling to sleep within its borders. As they sat around a fire, Ryan read aloud from the ledger they'd found in the saloon. It detailed the daily lives of the townsfolk, but the entries became increasingly erratic. One of the final entries read, "The silver is gone, and so are they. We shouldn't have disturbed the rest." "Who are they?" Olivia wondered aloud, her voice barely above a whisper. At midnight, the whispers returned, louder this time. The group froze as the fire suddenly extinguished itself, plunging them into darkness. Footsteps echoed around them, though no one was there. Chloe, the skeptic, screamed as a shadowy figure appeared briefly at the edge of the campsite before vanishing into the night. Panicked, the group packed up and fled, but the road back seemed different. Landmarks they'd passed earlier were nowhere to be found, and the dirt path twisted in unfamiliar ways. It was as if the town was trying to keep them there. By dawn, they finally stumbled back to the main highway, exhausted and shaken. Ethan reviewed the footage from his camera, only to find that much of it was corrupted. The few clips that remained showed fleeting images of figures standing in the windows of Hollow Creek's buildings, watching them. Today, Hollow Creek remains a mystery. The explorers never returned, and they refuse to speak of their experience to this day. The town's cursed reputation endures, and some say the whispers can still be heard on quiet nights, calling curious souls to enter and uncover its secrets.